as the Mangaung Municipality convenes its first council meeting today, water restrictions have hit residents in some areas of the Free State Metro. So since Friday, bulk water supplier Bloem Water has restricted supply by 30% due to non-payment of the council's bill of 270 million rand. Yesterday, the Metro announced that payment was made and that talks are underway to restore water to all areas of the municipality. Let's get you an update on the story now. Bloem Water Executive for Operations and Maintenance, Maruping Rapunungoane, joins us now with some clarity on this issue. Thanks very much indeed for your time, Maruping. There does seem to be some confusion. Has the Mangaung Metro made any payments, or if not, any arrangements for payments that have been acceptable to Bloem Water?
Good morning, Michelle. Good morning to the viewers. I'd like to put it on record that the Metro did make a payment of 20 million.
20 million.
20 million, yeah, which was on the 19th of November 2021. But however, the allocated 20 million was settling the agreement that we had with them at court when we did a settlement agreement during the December 2020. This 20 million was a matter that was settled at court, where the Metro is supposed to be paying 20 million every month towards the arrears. However, the 270 million that you just alluded to, with regards to the current account as of June 2021 to this month, which is the November month, which is going to be the October month that is due on the 30th of this month, November.
So the agreement was 20 million rand would be paid per month to try and get that bill up to date. Am I understanding you correctly?
Yeah, but remember now there's an agreement that we reached in December 2020. That's the 20 million. But however, this doesn't say the Metro should not honor their current account. This is besides the current account, because then the Metro will consume water every month.
Right.
So they need to pay their current account together with the 20 million.
Right, which hasn't been done.
Yeah, which has not been done. And hence, we issued the 30-day notice in terms of, in line with Section 4.5 of the Water Services Act, which we did on the 19th of October, which was then effective from the 19th of November.
So if the Metro were to pay off the 270 million per the agreement, plus pay its current account, what would that monthly payment come to?
Well, the issue is that we are currently meeting the Metro this morning with regards to the 270 million, so that if we reach an agreement, of course led by the board and management, we'll be able to then restore water to all 5 towns of the Metro. So we'll see how it goes when we meet. I think management is meeting now, the acting city manager, with regards to that issue and the team of Mangaung. When, like I'm saying, if agreements are reached, we'll be able to restore water. But if it's something that is not tangible with regards to what they bring into the table this morning, we will be forced to continue the water restrictions.
Right. Tell me more about the water restrictions. So you're saying that you've restricted water supply by 30% to some areas of Mangaung due to this non-payment. Which areas have been affected?
Well, we serve all 5 towns of the Metro. The Metro has 7 towns. However, we serve bulk water to 5 towns.
Right.
The towns namely Diversdorp, Wepener, Bloemfontein, Botshabelo, and Tabanchu. Those are the 5 towns that are currently under restrictions.
Yeah. And it's under restriction. It's not water outages completely. It's under restriction by 30%.
That's correct.
Maruping, the municipality has for many years struggled with issues of non-payment of bulk services. And you can just look at the Auditor General's report for our viewers who want to see more on that. Why has it taken Bloem Water so long to implement these restrictions to try and recoup the money?
Well, Michelle, when you deal with government, there are issues that we call intergovernmental relations that needs to unfold. So, as we are a service provider to the city, in line with our SLA, one needs to make sure that you exhaust all the measures of IGR processes before you can go and restrict the water. So in the past years, we've been engaging with the previous council, previous city managers that have been there before. And obviously, we had to resort to issues of water restrictions because we also have 4 obligations that we need to really pay in terms of monthly payments, bills for Bloem Water. One is electricity from Eskom. 2 is electricity from Sentlek, which is a sister company to Mangaung, which is supplying electricity to the local areas. The third part is the salaries to employees that are running operations at Bloem Water. The fourth matter would be for us buying chemicals in order for us to purify this water so that we can get it to drinkable standard. So these 4 issues are non-negotiable. So obviously, one way or the other, if Bloem Water would fail in one of these 4 issues, we would be faced with water cuts one way or the other.
Yeah. So
this would be like a forced water cut from our side because, for example, if you can't pay a bill of Eskom every month, then Eskom is simply going to shut the electricity for us, and we wouldn't be able to then supply water to the city or any other municipality that we are serving.
Yeah, and the 270 million rand, Maruping, for what period does that represent of non-payment? Is it months, years?
No, it's just the 4 months from June to date.
Sure. Okay, so that's just for 4 months. And then in terms of the areas, the 5 towns that you talked about, the 5 out of the 7 towns, does this mean that residents who are paying their municipal bills, they're paying their water bills, that they'll also be impacted by these restrictions?
Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, I, as a resident as well, am affected, so it depends again on which area of topography that you're laying in the city. Those that are in the low-lying areas would get a bit of water, the 30% would reach them, but those that are in higher-lying areas would simply get nothing. So, and hence we don't like us going a route of water restrictions, really, because there are some that will benefit out of it, there are some that won't.
Can I ask you a question around, long-term infrastructure in Mangaung? So the municipality currently serves about 96% of all households with water inside their yard. Those who receive pipe water inside the household and inside their dwellings, around 4% currently. Okay. When will full services be restored to the metro?
Well, unfortunately, I can't talk on behalf of the metro. Yeah. From our side, as a bulk service infrastructure, so to make an example, if rainwater is giving City of Johannesburg water, you can't really account for what is happening in the reticulation, which is the jurisdiction of Joburg City, just to make an example. Yeah. So for us as a bulk service provider to the metro in this case, it is up to the metro's IDP plan to make sure that all these gaps are closed in line with infrastructure development plans.
Maruping, let me thank you for your time this morning on the AM report. Maruping Rapunungoane is a Bloem Water Executive for Operations and Maintenance. The Metro Municipality there convening its first council sitting today, as many others are around the country. The council's account is 270 million rand in arrears, 20 million rand paid on the 19th of November, but the council is yet to settle its current account. That's a big developing story we're tracking for you here on the program.